About to see a lot more about a new push to make sure our friends and neighbors have enough to eat during our shared crisis. Wish TV is launching the Hoosiers Helping Hoosiers fund drive for food. Your donations will help fill Gleaners Food Bank. John Elliott is the president and CEO of Gleaners and kind enough to link with us this morning. Thanks for being with us, John. We've talked a lot about the need. You see it every day in your work. Explain to us just how dire things are right now.
Well, we already had a meal gap of 53 million meals a year in our 21 Indiana counties going into this pandemic. So that's the double need in most distributions, and sometimes triple or even higher distribution we're seeing is on top of an unacceptable base of hungry neighbors that pre-crisis.
When we look at the ways that people can help Gleaners, volunteering has long been a staple of how you work. The money that people can bring in, too, is critically important. Kind of explain the ways that people can help and what you need most.
These days, it's really about financial support. We're competing with for-profit retailers and others that are trying to restock their stores. And so the discounts that food banks traditionally enjoyed generously from food companies have been set aside, I hope on a temporary basis. So we're really trying to compete as well as we can. The food supply chain is very disrupted. That's donated food, that's food that we purchase. So cash to go out and be nimble and competitive in buying food is the number one driver these days.
Well, we'll have a lot of ways that the people can help you with that, with this drive, that we'll talk a lot more about in the coming days. In terms of the need, and we may see the city and the state reopening over the next few weeks, do you hold out high hopes that things will suddenly get better, or is this a long-term need we're facing?
Well, I do think they'll get better, but the important part is there's a difference in what I would call the medical recovery timeline as people recover from the virus or the medical quarantine and those aspects versus household by household recovery economically. And it's not just as straightforward as starting to get a paycheck again. Many families have really been in a tight financial situation. That is not going to be overnight, and I think the lag time will be several months to even up to a year before we see economic recovery following the medical recovery timeline.
When we ask people for $1, $5, whatever they can give, that sounds like lip service, but truly you can put into dollars and cents just how much even a single dollar can go.
Going into this pandemic, we could get 5 meals out of a single dollar. Now that the food costs have gone up, it's significantly less than that, but it's still 2 or 3 meals to every dollar that we can provide. That's really efficient in terms of the hunger relief system.
As far as that system goes, by the way, people hear Gleaners, they know good work, they think food. Quickly explain for us the difference between a food bank and the many food pantries you help serve.
So Gleaners actually supports 583 local partners in neighborhoods across 21 Indiana counties, and about half of those are brick and mortar food pantries. Unfortunately, we did lose access to 57 of those that were housed inside school buildings that are now closed and locked. So when the schools closed, we lost the meal program there, we lost the backsack sites for food over the weekend, and we lost the school-based pantries. Again, hoping all of that is temporary and the change back to those will be part of the recovery. But the access points are reduced now, which is part of the reason you're seeing huge lines at locations that are still open.
And while you're seeing, for instance, our viewers on the screen, we're watching the bus drive handout, the schools going to spots where they could then serve as almost like a mobile food pantry for the moment. John Elliott keeping his team nimble at Gleaners Food Bank. We hope to help you with this effort, and we want to tell our viewers about it. Hoosiers Helping Hoosiers Fund Drive for Food. It begins tomorrow, runs through May 8th. During the drive, we'll show you how to give on air, online at wishtv.com, and through our Facebook page as well.
So proud to help support